video. Ooh. Hello, hello. Just waiting to see if anybody's gonna pop on before I start. I'm only doing this in the group, so Women Creating Healthy Lives, this is for you. So, let's see. I know it's very last minute. I didn't even really give you much notice, so there we go. Oh, say hello if you pop in. I want to see who's watching. Can't see it on my page yet. Just waiting to see it pop up on my page. Okay, I'm going to get started because we have some really important stuff to cover in this video. It is about motivation, and I just finished a really great thing for my personal clients, a longer video on this subject, and I thought I would do a video, and I'm going to just talk a little bit about what's in this book called The Motivation Manifesto, and I know it's backwards, by Brendan Burchard, because he summarizes some things really well about motivation in this book, and it made so much sense to me, and I just think this is really important stuff. So what I want to do is just kind of glaze over some of these points that I thought really stuck out, and maybe this will help you with understanding kind of like really about what motivation really is, where it comes from, and how to maintain it. Because yes, you know, the thing is that we can be motivated, we can do something, bang, 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 we're doing it, and then bang, right? We fall off. We don't stick to it. Believe me, I do that in areas of my life also. And if you just jumped on, say hello so I know who's watching. And this will be in the replay, of course. So anybody who's in the replay, say hello too so I can see who's watching. And make sure to, oh, hi Tammy. I think it's Tammy. Let me see. Gonna read. Hi, Tammy. And yeah, this will be in the replay too. So what I want to do is, this is the book I'm talking about. It's backwards, but The Motivation Manifesto with Brendan Burchard. Now I'm going to get started because we have some great things to cover. All right. So what he first talks, I mean, it's a great book, but what he talks about regarding motivation is that we think if somebody's successful, so if somebody's doing really well, and we're like, oh my God, they got it all together. But also, right, got my sweats on, we tend to say, they're lucky though. They're lucky, right? They had a break. They had this. They had that. But that is not really true. And what he says is it's not about luck, right? He says they appear that they are lucky, but in fact, they have decided to choose their life. And you know me, I talk a lot about choice, making choices. That's why I think these are so great, what he talks about. People who are motivated are not lucky. They are conscientious. So they are choosing, they are being conscious of the things they're thinking, the things they're doing, the action they're taking, why they're doing it, why it's important to them, all of those things. They choose to use their minds in a more purposeful way in order to energize and lift their lives, right? So motivation sometimes seems like an effect or a feeling that just comes over you, right? But it's actually something you choose and you work at achieving. You kind of build it up within yourself, right? Okay. You don't suddenly feel motivated. That's what he says. You don't suddenly feel motivated. Just like happiness, right? He says happiness is a result of a thought, not an impulse. So motivation, same sort of thing. Motivation happens because of the things you're thinking, the things you're saying, all of that type of thing. Here's a quote. He says, so if we want more motivation in our lives, we must make clearer choices and more deeply commit to them, right? So we need to make choices and commit to them. And that will help us have motivation. But there's more to it. So this gets interesting. Motivation is sparked by the energy created by ambition and expectancy. So ambition is you want it. So there's something you know you desire and you want, and you get excited about it because you're like, I really want that. Oh my God, I want that. So that helps to build up the motivation. But expectancy, as in expecting it to happen, you wouldn't get too motivated by something that you thought there's no way you can achieve. So you see what I mean? The ambition can be there, no problem. But it wouldn't be there if you didn't think you could achieve it. And what he says, which is so true, is that we can get all excited. We can get going on things. We can start things. You can start a new diet, a new exercise plan. You can find something you love and go, I want that. And you get all excited. But if these limiting beliefs pop up, if you realize, if your energy starts to die down, that means your motivation starts to die down. Why? Because you don't believe you actually are going to expect, you don't believe you can actually have it. So your beliefs need to be there. If your belief isn't there, you won't really stay motivated. So that's something really crucial. What are you having a hard time staying motivated with? Is it maybe that you don't quite believe that it's really possible that you could really do it? So you need to have the belief there. Often when motivation is lacking, we don't truly expect that that thing will happen for us. And if we don't believe it, we know we cannot achieve it. So we won't even try and we won't even stay motivated. So very important point too. So he talks about how we can work on getting ourselves motivated. And in a way, it's like, so if you don't quite believe you can achieve it, what you would do is you would start believing that you can take the steps. That you don't have to go from A to B or A to Z, but you can start taking steps. So it's believable that you can take a step-by-step process, right? So, you know, you can say to yourself, I believe that I can learn. I'm a smart person. I can start taking steps. So that's where you start building your belief. Oh yeah, and then how some people say, I wish I was more motivated, right? He says, do not hope for motivation. Choose an ambition to become motivated for. So choose an ambition to become motivated for. So that's so cool. We need something to be motivated by. So something that excites us, right? The sustaining choice of motivations are thus attention and effort. So we also probably won't stay motivated if we don't put our attention to what we desire on over and over and over again. And if we don't take action, basically, it only makes sense, right? This is just a great confirmation. You need to stay focused on what you really want and you need to take actions towards it. That only makes sense, right? And that keeps us motivated. As soon as we let ourselves go, we don't believe it, we stop taking action, your motivation goes right down. Distractions. So what he's also saying is that now there's so many people, right, who are always trying to stay motivated and do things, especially in the new year, right? But he says that it's not really that we are just unmotivated or lazy people, but it's that we're easily distracted. And I know that's me because I have so many interests. I love making jewelry. I used to love clothes designing and sewing. I love being creative in some ways. So I get distracted I love singing shows. I get distracted here and there and there and there. So I'm a creative. So I need to focus. It's hard for me to focus. So it's not that I'm lazy. It's just that I'm easily distracted. So really being aware that we're distracted by our environment that's around us too. So if you're trying to stay motivated and focused on something, you have to pay attention to everything in your life. And that's also what he brings up is you need to have the supportive environment around you. So your environment is, let me see what else he says. Sweet. Oh yeah, here's a good quote. I just want to read this quote. We mustn't let our dreams die in the daylight because we lose focus while responding to the world's lame interests or false emergencies. And isn't that true? Oh my God. We let those things get in the way. Oh yeah, so when motivation dies, also sometimes our motivation sends, we say this all the time. I can't keep motivated. I can't seem to stay motivated, right? So here's something he says. When motivation dies, it's not because our dreams are dying. It's because we never began or didn't sustain any real effort. So you got to be in it for the long haul. You got to be in it to do these actions, take these steps, work on your beliefs and all of that continuously, all the time, never giving up, right? All right, so motivation to what we need to take our motivation to the next level is what I talked about. We're talking attitude and environment. If your attitude is, this is hard, it's impossible, it probably won't work, only few people can have it, oh my God, this is really hard. I don't really have enough time, this and that. If that's your attitude, you probably won't attain it. You need to get a positive attitude and a belief, right? And then also, you need to be enthusiastic, and your environment. Your environment has to be supportive. So if you're in an environment where you hate your job, you don't like who you're living with, the people around you are very negative, the people you work with are very negative, you don't like the city you live in, you don't like what surrounds you, then that's going to affect your motivation completely. And I can tell you that is a huge one for me. And a lot of women I think I talk to, because I find also for energy, I hear a lot of when women talk about, I'm too tired. So what happens is I notice this in myself, and I did notice it when I worked full time in a job I didn't like. It was that when you're in that environment that you don't really like, there's nothing to make you feel good, nothing to make you feel inspired. I mean, we got to make ourselves feel inspired, right? But when we're relying on the things around us, our environment, our job, that's the thing, you got to rely on yourself. But when you rely on the outside, this is going to help why my job's not motivating, my job's not inspiring, the people I work with I don't get along with. That'll drain and suck your energy as well as any motivation. So a lot of women have a hard time thinking about going to exercise after. They say they're just so tired after work. Well, a big part of that too is because you're drained energetically. I bet you're not physically drained. It just feels like you're physically drained, right? And so that what they mean, I have no motivation to go to the gym after. I just feel lazy. I feel tired. Most of the time, it is not a physical thing. It is an emotional thing, right? But we know our emotions affect our physical body right down to the cell, because they can cause illness, right? But they can also cause, our thoughts and our everything can also heal us. We can also lead to our healing, to having more energy, to being motivated continuously and consistently, to being excited in life. So just like our thoughts and our words can bring us down, they can bring us right back up again. And that's the most important thing to remember. I highly recommend this book, actually. You can tell it's written by a man. It's very masculine, I would say, male energy in it. But he has some really good points. I've really enjoyed it. All you have to do on his site, I will put his name below, is you can get it free and just pay shipping. So it cost me $6. And I live in Canada, so I highly suggest the book. But anyways, I hope those points mattered. I hope they made a difference. And if you have any aha moments or any comments or anything, I'd love to hear from you. Post them below the video. All right, women. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, please post them below. Let me know. Thank you so much. Bye.